Welcome to Coffee with the County, the only podcast in Hernando County where you learn all about coffee and the local happenings in your community. Let's plug in and get connected with your local government. Hi everyone, my name is Dominique Holmes. I'm the Director of Communications and Government Affairs for Hernando County Government. And today I have with me our special guest, Darlene Lollie. She is the Hernando County Transit Administrator. Hi Darlene, thank you for joining us today.
Hi, how are you? I'm glad to be here.
Yes, doing very well. Okay, so first question, coffee or tea?
Both.
Both?
Both. I'm more coffee, more tea, both.
Both. Okay, so is there a certain time of day you like coffee or tea?
Morning coffee and tea throughout the day, cold.
Cold, so like a nice
Cold.
tea. Well, that's very fun. So some other things we like to do on our show is talk about our special coffee mug that we brought. So today I brought my Snow White mug. So this mug I've had since high school. A group of my friends and I love Snow White, and we went to Disney quite a bit when I was in high school. It's the benefits of living in Florida. And so I got this mug back then, and I've always had it.
So I brought with me my cup that I brought from Alaska. I spent 7 years of my life there, and there's coffee shops on every corner in Fairbanks, so you can get coffee any time of the day, all day long, and into the nights. And they are drive-up coffee shops,
Really?
so you don't, have to park your car and get out and walk in. You drive through either side.
It's because it's cold.
It's cold. It's cold.
Yeah. So, but these are like mom and pop little pop-up shops and everything.
They're pretty specific to Fairbanks. The locals around there, that they figured that's where they're going to make their most money is coffee shops. So you will see, some small chains in Fairbanks. Most of them are just single out throughout the borough.
Yeah. So, and it's a lot colder up in Alaska than it is in Florida.
Very much so. Snow from September through April.
Wow. So I know in Florida, it's usually hot around Halloween, but in Alaska, like you said, it starts snowing in September. So it's usually pretty cold.
Yes, it's very cold in September. So Halloween, there's snow on the ground, always snow on the ground. And only one time that we were there that there was not snow on the ground in Halloween. So all the kids dress in snowsuits. They buy their costumes are much bigger. And they pull around sleds. They don't push around strollers. So all the kids are having a good time.
That is too funny. I know I'm usually in a t-shirt and shorts and sweating on Halloween. And I can't believe this past year we had a little bit of a nice breeze. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually grabbed a jacket. But it's funny to think that, when you're, in snow, that you've got your puffy jacket on, you got your snowshoes on, and you got your costume with that.
Yes.
That's too funny.
Yes, Florida girls go up there and we think, what do you mean snow on Halloween?
Right. Well, I like warm, sunny Florida. We're happy to have you here in Florida with the sunshine. So I always like to also share a fun little coffee fact or tidbit. So did you know, in Japan, they have coffee spas where they pour coffee into your hot tubs?
No.
Isn't that interesting?
Sure, we've taken a shower with coffee or a hot tub bath with coffee.
I wonder if there's some type of health benefits or something behind it, or just like a nice little spa day. So that's pretty fun. But let's talk more about transit. So transit is the bus service in Hernando County, correct?
Yes.
Let's talk more about the bus routes. How many routes do we have?
Currently we have 9, one of which is a micro transit, so it is a zoned fixed route 5 miles around the city of Brooksville, approximately 5 miles. And it is a door-to-door, curb-to-curb service, so you can call at least 2 hours in advance and schedule a trip, and they will come pick you up as long as you live within that zone and take you to wherever. So if you and your friends want to go have lunch, hey, pick me up here because this is where I work, and 6 of you get on the bus and you can go and sit and have lunch, and they'll take you there and come back and pick you up and take you back to work.
Or if you need to go to the grocery store, doctor's appointment.
Yeah, so our fixed route is 8 of those fixed routes, and they pretty much just run up and down the street, and they come with a 3/4 mile. We're required by FTA, Federal Transit Administration, to do a 3/4 mile paratransit ADA trips,
Okay.
which are for those folks who are transportation disadvantaged and they live within 3/4 of a mile of our fixed routes. We have to provide trips for those folks to get them to doctor's appointments, to shopping, if they want to have their hair cut, whatever they may be. They go through the application process, have their doctors complete a section of that. They turn it into our operators. They get a paratransit ADA ID, and then they just call ahead I think their call ahead is 24 hours in advance to schedule those trips. So you call, you schedule for the next day on what time your appointment is, and we come and pick you up and take you to those appointments.
That's wonderful.
And we are not allowed to refuse trips. So if we have someone who has, a cancer or dialysis treatment trip and someone who needs to go shopping or get their hair done, we have to figure out how to make them both happen. We're not allowed to tell one more important than the other.
Right, we need to make sure that's accessible for everybody to
Correct.
utilize. Well, so let's talk more about, you talked about fixed routes and paratransit. So the general population who's tuning in today, let's talk about what's the difference of that. So the fixed routes are the ones that are going, you see them on 19, you see them on 50, they're going that same route every single day, where the paratransit, that's the one that's more mobile that can go pick you up at different places.
Correct. So our paratransit is exactly that. Our fixed route goes up and down the streets. They have their fixed routes that they drive every day. And then the paratransit is an additional service on the same corridor as a fixed route within 3/4 of a mile on either side of that fixed route. So of our 8 fixed routes that we have, 3/4 of a mile on either side of all 8 of those is ADA requirement, paratransit, so we have to use those. Our microtransit is a zone around 5 miles around the city of Brooksville, and that one is fixed route, but it's a zoned fixed route. It's a different type of service, so you can call and schedule those. So those are pretty much a door-to-door, curb-to-curb service. So if you want to go have lunch, you want to get your hair done, and you don't have to have a paratransit ID, you don't have to be ADA. Those are open to anybody who lives within that zone can call ahead. So it is a shared ride, the same as our fixed route, except it's a zone.
And that's usually, right now we have the one section that's Brooksville.
Brooksville, yes.
Brooksville. Okay, so if you're in Brooksville, you're able to call up and schedule that service. And,
Correct.
Oh, that's really great. So speaking of ADA requirements, something that I think is really unique is that every single one of our buses, whether it's one of the big ones or even the paratransit, they are accessible for wheelchairs. There's a wheelchair ramp. I think we have staff that are all trained and certified to make sure that everyone that's, that needs an ADA accessibility access, that they're secured in. Can we talk more about that?
Yes, so all of our drivers are trained and they go through training in their orientation on how to secure wheelchairs and mobile scooters. And all of our buses have ramps. The big buses have front door ramps. Our small paratransit vans have an actual wheelchair lift with a door on the back. So they load the wheelchairs or the scooters and they put those folks on the bus and secure them in with this. There's a 4-harness seat belt that's on the floor that straps their mobility device to the bus and keeps them from, and there's also a lap belt that will lap belt them in to keep them safe and secure on our buses. And all our drivers have to go through that training to make for sure that they get everyone secured in safely.
That's great.
And where they need to go.
That's great that we offer that and that we have that, that every single driver is able to help and assist. You've mentioned now all of our routes. We have 9, correct?
9.
So back in December of last year of 2024, so the county voted in a transit plan.
Yes.
And that allowed, because we had 4 routes last year, right?
Correct. So in December of 2024, our transit development plan, which is a 5-year plan that says this is what we think we're going to do in the next 5 years. And we're required by FDOT, Florida Department of Transportation, and FTA to make for sure that we have that plan. As part of that plan, we were adding service to our current system. So we had 4 routes, the 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're moving from colors, so it was the red, blue, green, and purple. And then now we have 9 fixed routes. We added 5 since December of last year.
So we've doubled, more than doubled.
We've more than doubled, and fortunately for us, none of those interfered with one of our current routes.
Right.
So we could just add the service next year, or this year, going into next year. We're going to add 4 more.
Okay.
We're going to add one across Anderson, Snow, and Barclay to 50. There will be a corridor route that runs from Highway 19 from Citrus County all the way to Pasco. Across Highway 19, we're going to add one that runs across Powell Road and Elgin. and then we're going to run one across Deltona. We're not exactly sure what those are going to look like because those will actually change the structure of another route. So those are going to take a little bit of planning to figure out how we're going to configure all those routes.
But these routes then for next year are going to help with connecting us to Citrus and Pasco County.
Correct. We currently, our Route 3 goes to Pasco County and meets in Hudson, but it doesn't go to Citrus. So it runs from Brooksville across 50 down 19 to Pasco and comes back. So we're going to do a corridor route that goes from Citrus County, Highway 98, and Citrus County and Hernando, North Hernando, all the way to Pasco. So
Okay, wow. Well, let's talk about ridership. So do you have any data or stats to share with us regarding how many rides that were used last year and stuff like that?
So last year, our fixed route had 157,000
Wow.
passenger trips last year, and our ADA, our paratransit ADA, had a little over 8,000 trips last year.
Wow, so the bus is definitely being utilized.
It's definitely being utilized. It's growing. Our ridership on our new routes is actually improving every month. And since COVID, I think our stats on our TDP was we had a 30% increase.
What's TDP?
Transit Development Plan.
Thank you.
That we did in December, that was approved in December. On that plan, as part of the research they did, since COVID in 2020, we've had a 30% increase
Wow.
in ridership since 2020. So we are increasing ridership every year.
That's excellent to hear that they're, the bus stops, we see them all the time. We see the bus. Sometimes we're behind the bus somewhere. We know that those services are being utilized in Hernando County. So how much does it cost to ride the bus?
So a regular trip is $1.25. So every time you get on the bus, it costs you $1.25. We have discounts, which are 60 cents for veterans, seniors, and students. If you have a student ID, you ride for free. Our veterans and our seniors are half price, 60 cents to ride those. You can buy monthly passes from our operations office or from our libraries that are only good for that particular month. And they swap the colors each month, so you get a different color every month. Or we have an app, Token Transit app, where you can buy a 30-day pass on there and you can ride as many times as you want. So when you activate that pass, it's good for 30 days. So if you buy it today, it's good for 30 days. If you buy it in the middle of a month, it's good for 30 days. Where if you buy a paper pass, they're only month to month. So if you picked one up in the middle of the month, you're only going to get 15 days on that pass, where Token Transit is 30 days from the date that you activate it. You can buy 3-day passes, 7-day passes on Token Transit, and if you purchase 3-day passes, you buy one and you ride and you have that 3 days. Within 7 days, if you've bought 2, they call it fare capping. The Token Transit will bump you to the next level and not charge you the extra money.
Well, that app seems fair. That app seems pretty awesome. So Token Transit.
Token Transit.
So yes, if you're using the bus and you have access to go ahead and download that app, we highly recommend it. And then before I wrap up here, I believe on our website, hernandocounty.us, is there a live tracker of the bus?
There is. It's Passio, and we're working on the links because we just got a whole new setup for our tracking systems.
Right.
We will have a phone number that you can text to find where your bus is on that stop. We're still in the stages of tweaking it because it's brand new. So we just got all the equipment on the buses. We're still working out all the bugs to make for sure that it's working correctly. We can see it, and once we get everything fine-tuned, then that will show up. People can look and check the live tracker. I think it's out there now, so you can look at it. And we're adding buses every day, and every day it's, oh, well, this one isn't working or that one isn't working, but you can look at that live tracker and you can see where our buses are.
And that's awesome, because what's one of the biggest things is that we want the public to be able to utilize the bus system, utilize the services, and then be on top of being able to see where the buses are at and get that information.
See where our buses are, get that information. If you're standing at a stop, see when your bus is going to arrive, the ETA of your bus. And we figured out that if it's a shared stop, so if we have 2 or 3 different routes coming into the same stop, if you text the stop number to that phone number, it will give you the times when each route will be
Really?
there. So it's pretty impressive, and like I said, it's new. We're still working the kinks out on it, but it's working good. Once it's up and running, I think it's going to be a great thing for the folks that are riding the bus.
I love that. And so where can people find out more information about how to text and how to find that live tracker? Is it our county website?
Yes, it's on our website, TheBus. HernandoBus.com. Yes, and it's on our Facebook page. We keep updating our Facebook page, so you can find it there also.
Amazing. So for anyone tuning in, if you haven't followed Hernando County TheBus on Facebook, please tune in and follow them to get all the updates. You get information about the apps, about the routes, and all that good stuff. Well, thank you, Darlene, for joining us today. Let me wrap up with a fun little joke. So why did the coffee file a police report?
I don't know.
Because it got mugged. It got mugged.
It got
And thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Coffee with the County.